restore your home. And yes, I dear Uncle Fono, Omeko Swafa and say, ye Jimmy for because 1, Usiane Casa, 2, Udine Biane, 3, Usen in Tadie, and then Usin die into what to be Bia to so, Ube Blimono, and for problem is Enco. And for solution, dear Emma, and dear come the Bible
and I'm a forcano, Enkosiaga.
Enkosiaga. Inti Mr. Mansa Musa, na ye Jimmy da Danietiho, and ye Jimmy Naji Drain, see because we can dino at the amount for this opportunity.
Miss me, that's a baby, semi fro, na sabi, or rest the crown, or sorry, abana, near bedding como. Thank you very much. And, have a good day. Cheers. Right, you are listening to Mansa Musa. The young man I spoke with, Mr. Nkodo. He resides or he lives in South Korea. By now it's about 4:49 in the morning, Thursday morning over there in Korea. As it is, it's 8:49 in UK and 7:49 in Ghana. You are listening to Mansa Musa. The program is Fire Will Burn You. Tonight we're discussing all matters, including the reason why the IMF negotiations have become a problem. It has become so tight. It has become there is no way out. I mean, it doesn't seem to be any how do I call it, any progress at all. Despite the fact that Ghanaians, the president and his people have done everything. They have raised loads of taxes. They've enacted so many taxes that are being approved in the parliament. So many taxes, so many. Recently, before even parliament went on recess, 3 of the taxes has come, and those taxes, according to experts, going to affect businesses and trade and everything. But the Kufuado and his people, for them, they don't care, and they want a face-saving situation so that all of a sudden they say, oh, IMF with this Kanaba, then Ghanaians will be happy and be clapping. Now we'll go back to more taxes to be brought forward. Whatever it is, for me, I will say that it is a problem. The reason why IMF doesn't want this to the system to work, or doesn't want they don't want to approve loans for Ghana or to Ghana, because people are saying they've realized that most monies that are given to Ghana does not really benefit Ghanaians. They vanish into thin air. So now they are wary, or they wouldn't rush into granting huge sums of money to the Ghana government or into the Ghanaian economy. People are also saying that, the IMF should treat everybody the same. Why is it that even Ukraine, that is fighting a war, as we speak, I've got, I think, a bailout, 15 billion. For that one day, we can only assume that, the IMF is controlled by America in the West. And so they do whatever they want. And what I mean in Koto, say, if, and when Ghanaians, the rest of Black Africa especially, will come together and actually, because this thing is difficult to say that we should become one state, as Nkrumah proposed. We should have started all those years in the 60s. So by now it would have been very easy. Now it's going to be very difficult because every small president of any kitchen united, like a small president in Nigeria, small president in Benin, small president in prime minister in Cote d'Ivoire, everybody want to be the Oga. Forgetting that if, for instance, we had one United States of Africa, right, maybe below the Sahara, we have one United States of Africa with one common president and federation of countries. If we have, let's say, one agric minister, you, the agric minister of Africa, you will be more powerful. You will be more powerful than being a president of Ghana, honestly. If you are the foreign minister of Africa, you are more powerful than, let's say, the president of Zimbabwe. But Africans will not see it like that. Everybody wants to be in their own small camp. And so far as they are the leaders and enjoy the trappings of power, that is okay and that is enough for them. But as they say, one day we will see.
NFM Radio.
Yesterday too, there was another story going about. I think I read it briefly, and Mr. Sami Ewuku, I think he is the Director General of National Lotteries, Ghana. Now, on the security agencies in Ghana will go undercover. Now, they will try to arrest people doing banker to banker those days. People doing illegal. Okay, people operating. They will arrest illegal lottery operators, which is all very good, isn't it? It's okay. Say some people are doing something unlawful, illegal, and our security agencies will go around, undercover, get information, get evidence to arrest them and charge them and put them to the court, for court to judge them and maybe fine them or put them in prison. That is very good. So why am I talking about it as though it isn't good? Let's listen to the commercial back and we'll continue.
Yenam top connect so emani sika de bagana if we wiase afana nyina yentia kapre ane aye free top connect amasika manie ayemre kra ye wo hia ne se wo be download wo top connect app no e wo Play Store de ama wo Android phone ana se wo use iPhone so a ko Apple Store na download the top connect aye simple kra top connect wa man be bro aduonum so wo Europe, North America and Asia wo mane wo dofo sika fa top connect so a aye ntem na emre na mawa hoto swonso sese die sika manye di foforo kra any top connect so we hia nchechemu bia fra top connect e wo +442 081 6155 and a +442 081 761 600 +447 882 950 088 and nasa hwehwe top connect e wa befo ntintafidie nyina so top connect fa sika mane wa dofo asundjemu a untia kapre top connect yensu ye die
Let me go straight to the point. We will find wada. Once you attack and send be says so, your work is here. Come air conditioner, and also dumb air conditioning, and said that more no crane say. One funny papa and installation now, with everything called enterprise. Yeah, air conditioning installation at the Mawa, Odemo, a Rubia, Okanu, a never cold room, it's a cold stores, and a Bavia, you didn't ever see. I was saying, everything called enterprise. a nice one at your mower, a review, no, but you medicadica. You install central air conditioning, split air conditioning, car air conditioning, never solar panels also. You want a nice Eddie mower, or you be a busu straight, not your fee. So what do you say? And our gas in a sun, say you'll come with the anal dear, and our co-store dear. Nina, a very nice and quick, but we will be a baby yet the amount. Most of more bridge, Bobby sit down, or my canoe, and open to me a free you can lie with so. Nearby install air conditioning, Nibiamamo. Frank plus 447508650279. Oh, wager, I just sent kind of fire service. Wow, France 0544-489-343 and 0302-906-276. Your website, you know, everythingcode.org. And I'll send you an email kjamwako@yahoo.co.uk. Everything Code Enterprise. Air conditioning, master, no.
Right, welcome back. You are listening to Mansa. The program is Fire Will Burn You, and we are discussing everything that is got to do with the IMF negotiation, which is at the moment can be described as stalled. That means a tree break kakra obi enim senior ebeya ebekonenim. Hopefully things will be sorted out, but seriously speaking, though, it is a very bad situation, and we sincerely hope that very soon things will be sorted out. And going forward, maybe we have to start thinking that, using this as an experience, that this shouldn't happen again. We shouldn't find ourselves in such situations again. But how? How can we avoid this humiliating sort of cyclical year in, year out, or seasonal humiliation of always going to beg some people who supposedly are better at managing monies and economies? People who are supposed to be much professional when it comes to looking after monies. We have to make sure that this should be the last of our IMF surgeon or our IMF travels. It should be the last. Mr. Yusuf is on the line. Let's say hello to Yusuf. Yusuf, good evening.
NFM Radio.
Emudaho.
Ampa. Good evening to you all, and I saw your message regarding the Ghana versus IMF, and I thought it's a very interesting subject to dive into. And what I want our listeners to bear in mind is that, at the back of our mind, we should know what IMF stands for in reality. You see, in fact.
But I think IMF stands for International Monetary Fund. Is there anything different?
Oh yes, oh yes. This is just they've disguised themselves. You see, IMF is a form of a neo-colonialist agenda. You see, they don't have any importance to benefit the third world countries. There's nothing like that. Indirectly.
So their agenda is not to benefit third world country, right?
No. In fact, unless you break through. So is it,
Right, it's if.
yeah. So the IMF loans is contingent on countries implementing the conditions outlined in the IMF's structural adjustment programs, the SAPs. You see, and these are some like austerity measures, tax increase, budget reduction in areas like infrastructure, research, education, financial sectors, liberation, policies, like trade and or so many things. Privatization is one of them. They will tell you to privatize your state enterprises, corporations. You see, so IMF has been the target of neocolonization, and all I just want you to people to know is that it will be better for us to do our best as individual countries to one day not even go there for money. You see, if we are able to break through like how the Chinese people did, you put money into IMF is an investment. They will lend the money. You know the interest that they get on these monies. US and Japan and China, they are the top ranking members now. But China is able to have that status because of the SME which they introduced in the 70s, and they were able to break through. But if you are not, you continue to bow before them, and they will dictate for you. Telling you to do austerity measures and all that. So you see, I don't know why between Ghana and IMF now, probably, accountability is one of their SAPs. You have to be accountable to them. What do you use the monies for? Probably what Nanado and his government, the monies they took, I don't know if they have been able to make proper accountability. Hence the the problem between them at the moment. So I can tell you, Ghana is under this SAP because they gave money. You have to be accountable. They will dictate to you. They will tell you what to do. It's like you are not free. You cannot even use the money for something else. They will tell you.
Yeah, but obviously, yeah, you are not free. But at least we understood or understand all this. We have come, we have involved, we have done almost everything, heaped loads of taxes left, right, and center. I think, according to Akufo-Addo, he will tell anyone who is listening that he's got friends in America, in France, in Britain, in Germany. He's been to China and back. That's his finance minister been China and back about 2 or 3 times. I don't know. And after all this, so what is it that is stopping the IMF from playing ball? That's the question.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Probably they have not been able to give, proper accountability as to how the money, where the money went, how the money was used. Was it used accordingly? They understand. So, because they want you to use the money the way they want you to use, and I can guarantee you there's no way you're going to be able to break through as a country. You'll be more indebted. You'll get more problems. Austerity measures, they said you have to, your educational system is restricted. You cannot do research. Every country, depend on research. You have to be able to, our university should be able to make research. And we come out with, new technological ideas to enhance, our economy. Our education is very, very important. Research is very, very important. But they will tell you cannot research. So you'll be stagnant. You are not progressing. Mansa Musa, I can tell you, when IMF is part of the neo-colonial colonial agenda to make third world countries more indebted, and you now become what? They said that the borrower becomes enslaved to the lender. You now become enslaved. So that is why the term neo-colonialism is used. It's an indirect way of colonizing us. Again, we're in slavery, an indirect way of slavery. You see? So
yeah, but you see, for me, okay,
so
all what you
yeah.
are saying, there isn't one, there isn't one argument or a challenge or how do I say, a dispute about what you are, what the IMF opaquely stands for and what they do. We all know this, and yet we mismanage our economy and we have to go back to them. You see, for me, we as Ghanaians have to have some answers. After everything that I can mention, how to get monies that doesn't even exist, to assure the IMF that this is how we are going to, repay the money back. And yet we are at a standstill. So the question is, why is the intelligentsia in Ghana, the intellectual community, why are they not asking serious questions? What is going on?
Mansa, if they will allow us, or if they will give a benefit of that to form a sort of, I would say, a group, a financial, economical advisory group, a think tank, Ghanaians who have studied abroad, overseas, who live in overseas here, like you, me, and others who are listening, who have great ideas, to be able to what? Because it's difficult to come close to these guys, so that at least we could make proposals to them and tell them, look, you are our leaders. We respect you a lot. But listen to us as well, because we live with these people and we've studied with them. Mansa, I will tell you.
You see, the thing is, for me, you see, these suggestions, they've become rather academic, something we meet and say and argue and, we talk and we go. The point is, the people who are on the ground doing the work, they themselves have lived through some of, these sort of overseas destinations that you are talking about. That, some of them have experienced proper governance. So why would they need you and I to go and tell them what to do before they do it?
I will tell you, as you said, you are right, but all I can say is that with all the experience and the governance that they've had, how come they have they failed? They have failed because they have failed to what? To develop the country. Ghana, for example. It's very sad. Today I was just driving went to a very remote area of UK, and I tell you, Mansa, you go into the interlands, where you say this area is village. You understand? But all the road, the small roads, is asphalt. You never see any muddy road anywhere. Even if it's a tiny road somewhere in the middle of nowhere, it's been asphalted. You understand? The infrastructure is so intact. You see? Why can't
as for that one, you see, we can all look. You and I remember when the Queen died, and his funeral cortege, or her casket was being driven, in the remote areas in Scotland and the rest, if you see the video, the green grass, the trees, the clean water, small streams and everything. Then the good roads, even like you are saying, a cottage road, it's all tarred nicely and everything. You see, those things, the whole thing is that it starts from the top, the governance itself, that we have, let's say, 2 billion to build roads for the next, let's say, 3 to 5 years. A proper distribution of that road to a properly organized local governance, which is backed by proper legislature, which are, those governors, those local government, they are going to work to the letter of the law. They work with medicals, they work with technicians, engineers, architects. Everything is budgeted for, the estimation, everything. So every village you are talking about, we see here, is a locality somewhere, and they come under a certain governance. That certain local governance is taking orders and directives from directly from the central government, and it's structured. If something goes wrong, it is identified. If the money has been misspent, it is not because, we are in the same party, you can chop the money and nothing happens to you. You see, these things, they are not magic. They are not like we have a saying, it's not rocket science. It is not something that we have to be taught or told. As they say, you agree with me, Yusuf, that the wheel has already been invented. All what you have to do is to use the wheel. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Am I lying?
Yes, this goes back to confirm what I mentioned, which I will continue to mention all the time. I said many things, ideas that appears new, aren't really new at all. What has been will be again. What has been done will be done again. There is nothing new. All these ideas and whatever we need to do things to develop, they are there. But it's just mismanagement. Mansa, there is, based on what you just said, it has reminded me of some insight that I got in my political studies in the university. And it is mind-blowing. In fact, as a political science student, some of the things that we learn has to do with money. There is some form of economics in political science. So, and we did study some content that we got from a professor in the US. And that time it was Barack Obama's time. And he said in his video message, he said, anything, if President Obama ever tells you that the United States government is bankrupt, he's lying to you. He said a sovereign nation can never go bankrupt. It was mind-blowing. I said, really? A country can never go, a sovereign nation, if you are a sovereign nation, you can never go bankrupt, because a sovereign nation must have a sovereign currency. You print your money and you do whatever you want to do. There is one senator in the US who used to say Rand Paul. If you Google him, R-O-N, his first name is Ron. His son is Rand Paul, who is in Congress now, but he has retired. He was a senator from Texas area there. In fact, since right from Ronald Reagan and all these presidents, he was a senator until he went to retirement. Nobody could beat him in his area. But this guy, always he was saying, he says money is printed out of thin air. The United States government makes money out of thin air. You are working hard, you are going and you are borrowing all these monies. They are just printing it.
Oh, yes.
Come and borrow it. So where are our economists? Those who says they've studied economy to PhD, I mean, our Ghanaian leaders, why haven't they looked into our Ghanaian sovereign currency and make sure we have our currency is sovereign? We're in control of it. And we know how to use it, how to get it. And nobody prints our money for us. Okay? This is one more thing that is mind-blowing when we were studying is that they said, in fact, somebody will tell you that, Mansa, I shouldn't even be saying all these things on air because there are some things we don't have to say, because people who have not really studied, deep and don't know, they will say, oh, look at what he's saying. But this thing came out of what? It was the professors who exposed it to us. And in fact, tax is just a control mechanism. When they are telling you that taxes is being used to develop a nation, I can tell you that based on my political science career and what I learned is a lie. Taxes is not what they are actually, they will tell you, that's why in the IMF they will tell you that you should go and tax. They say go and tax. They know, but when you do that, people are going to what? People will suffer. It's just like this e-levy that they told them. This e-levy, you think Nanado just brought it up by himself? It was imposed on him. IMF is aware of it because it's part of their this thing, the IMF's agenda to control us. You see, so taxes is an indirect way of what? Making you to what? To control your people.
Yes.
And the people what? They will strive to what? To make ends meet. I'm telling you. But, so if you really want to make money to develop your nation, let me tell all those who are listening, our big brothers, the leaders, all our economists, like Honorable who came to speak yesterday, if he's still listening, we have to what? We need to go back into basics and what? Make reforms. Look at our resources, our human resources, natural resources, get hold of it, be in control of it, develop it, and the end products, we are not selling it to anybody. We don't say, for example, you come and buy gold as it is, raw gold, like how we've given concessions and they are just mining the minerals like that and they're giving the country 10%. Look, in fact, that is where actually we should be making some of our monies from. If we are able to mine it in a professional way. Look, what happened to Dubai? Let me use Dubai, for example. When they found oil, they didn't say, oh, come and mine the oil for us and we will give you and give us a percentage. They negotiated and they used a different form of a contract, which means they were in control. They were paying the workers, they were paying engineers. And
you see, this oil thing you are talking has brought something. I mean, look, forget about Dubai. Look, I spoke to a gentleman. We were talking about we Africans, how, I don't know, how unintelligent we are, how foolish we've become, and the rest, right?
Yes.
Look, Nigeria's producing or doing oil business since when? If nothing at all, from the late 60s or let's say 70s, right? Nigeria has been producing oil. Equatorial Guinea produces oil.
Yeah.
Gabon, they produce oil. I don't want to talk about the the North Africa and Maghreb and the rest of them. But black Africa countries, we have been doing oil for ages.
Yes.
So when the time came that Ghana has discovered enough oil to be produced, in commercial quantities, where should we have gone to secure the brains, the money, and the technology and everything? Imagine if Ghana was situated in Europe and that country has discovered big quantity of oil somewhere. If the country didn't have the expertise and the money and everything, do you really think they will go to Africa to go and bring expertise? Or they won't even go to the Middle East. They will gather everything from among ourselves. So the question is, how come that I'm saying Nigeria has been doing this oil for a long time? How come Ghana got oil? We couldn't get any expertise from our African neighbors, African brothers and sisters. Everything will have to come from Europe and America again. What is going on?
Well, even that of Nigeria's even is not even the best example, because Nigeria, there's still an economical hardship there upon all the.
Well,
Nigeria
exactly what I'm saying. That we everybody knows that Nigeria, Equatorial Guinea, Gabon, but it's still the white people controlling it, and it's wrong. We don't have any space. We don't build capacities. It's wrong.
It's very wrong. So what I can say that Mansa, in the UK here, let's ask ourselves, where do you see a company that belongs to what? An African that is mining or doing any mineral exploration here in UK or in the US? You will never get that opportunity. They will not allow you. You understand? So our mineral resources, in fact, we're going to have to go back to the drawing board and see how best we can take it back. It's not late.
For me, it's not about drawing board. Look, it is about leadership. A proper leader who will say, look, I want, when I'm old, I am 70, 80, 90, and I'm sick, I want to trust a hospital in Accra or Abuja or what we call it, Yamoussoukro or Freetown, somewhere that I can trust to go. With that the mindset of being as good or as equal to the best in the world. We are always being, we're thinking inferior, that, the better is somewhere. And that is really, apart from Nkrumah, which we lost, and maybe the Gaddafis of this world, it's very difficult now.
Mansa, you are right. We need good leaders. And if I was closer to Nanado, and I believe that he wants to do the right thing, or JM, if he comes back as a president again, I believe that he would want to do the right thing. My advice to him will be that, look, let's learn from what has happened in other countries. Listen, you see, if you look at someone like the Russian president, Putin, when he first came, you know what he did? If you mess up all those companies that invested there, he has taken them back to the state, most of them. You sanction him, he takes it back, and runs it. Okay? Now look, they thought the sanction would hit him hard. Russia is still trading big time.
Yeah, because you know why they've succeeded in doing that? Well, somebody, in fact, I have a white guy friend who is look, he said for him, initially, he speaks like, typical SS gentleman. Tell you what, when the sanctions started, I thought these Kigu were going to fold. I thought they were going to collapse. But goodness me, how many countries in Europe will survive this? All these sanctions, and Russia is still there. How did they do it? You see, the point is, education, science, mathematics, engineering.
Yes.
It is the answer. But when you have a society which base has half of its existence is all about miracles and nyamibeye or juju, and the juju is only good at killing people. It doesn't make us any clever. We have a problem.
That was one of the strategies that China used when they started in the 70s. They sent most of their intelligent guys to foreign universities.
Yes.
But their intention was them to go and study and to come back again
Yes.
and build Ghana. Look, we should invest in our people. There are so many Ghanaians, intelligent Ghanaians, young youth, let government give them scholarship, but there should be an agreement signed by their parents. As you are going, you will come back. If you don't come back, we will arrest your parents. They will sign. So when
listen. When that is not. You see, let me say this. That what you have said, half of it. I mean, the first part is very, very true, but to succeed is not by compulsion that you have to sign this. You have to sign this. Look,
no. Because
when Osajifo started, what he did was that hang on a second. You are right in saying that we need to educate people abroad, but how to bring that knowledge back properly for it to work? People who sign all those things, they will come back anyway. But when they come back, you see that spirit, that love for one's country, which Osajifo brought about, love for Ghana, the Black Star of Africa in those days. It's not there. Now it's missing. So people just come and they follow the same thing. Let me try and make my family rich. That's it. It's a problem.
What I would say, you say when they come back, the spirit is not there. It's because when they come back, the government must look after them. You don't just come back, and then you come and you live a miserable life.
Yes.
But the moment you come back as a graduate, you should be given all what they need.
Yes.
They don't have to struggle so that they have the peace of mind to work and help in the building of the nation. You understand? So this is also very, very important. And one thing that I wanted to emphasize is about our mineral resources. Now, I think based on the previous administrations, they have actually, sort of, it's like a giveaway. We've given away, our resources.
Yes.
To these foreigners for free.
Yes.
How can you say somebody should come? And look, if you count, there are so many gold mining companies in Ghana. But how much is the government making out of them? So last time I checked, they said, is it 10% or is it 15%?
Look, if you have a corrupt system with corrupt people leading it, there's nothing that is going to, succeed. Yes. I mean, look, we can go on and talk. We need proper leadership. For me, I'm not even thinking about NDC and BPO. We need proper leadership, not the same sort of mentality where they think that, the moment you think that you have to have a hospital which is better in America or Europe, we are in trouble. So,
Mansa, one thing is that, like I said previously, it's like we've given away all our resources to them. But there is a way out. Can redeem all these our resources. Listen, in every country you have every right to increase taxes. Okay? We can hit them big time. If I was John Mamas or I was the Nadu's advisor and I believe he wants to build the nation and he needs money, he doesn't want to go to IMF. All these mining companies, they will be my target. I will tax them big time. And until, if they don't want to pay, they will fold up and will take our company. I've just given you one idea.
Well, if you are the Nado who is always in the pockets of the white people in Europe and America, I don't know how he is going to do that. He won't do it.
This thing that I've told you, it must happen one day. This
of course,
is the only way we can get
that's what we've got to do.
God bless that. God bless that.
Yes. Hopefully, one day it will happen. Hopefully, but maybe not even in our generation, but hopefully we will get there. Listen, thanks ever so much, as usual, for your input. Very cleverly delivered and everything. And hopefully we'll be doing this for a long time.
Good
Thank
talk.
you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mansa. Good night.
NFM Radio, emu daho.
Right, Fire will burn you. That's the name of the, or is it the title of the program, of the show? Metaphorical fire will burn you, especially if you are a top politician and or political activist, and you want to come and have discussion or conversation with me. Then you got to be very, very alert, very, very prepared, well prepared, so that your responses will be sharper and good enough. That is the fire Ubeni we are talking about. Anyway, what we are discussing tonight is all about the question. Or this week I will make it a weekly, or this week we'll be talking about this, that despite everything that the government of Ghana has done and what Ghanaians have already gone through or are going through, that is, some of them have lost their monies. Other monies have been confiscated, and that means it has been not seized, but it has been controlled. I mean, the government has taken over people's money, either pension or savings or whatever it is, and they are not going to get those monies for a while. All this is done, to appease the IMF, or to convince the IMF that the government is serious to maybe cut down on expenditure, and they have got other monies coming in. So if the IMF should give us that 3 billion, we will be able to repay that money. So my question is that after the government has done all this, and with all the other countries that are supporting Akufo-Addo in this, i.e. the French, the British, Americans, the Germans, we know Akufo-Addo has joined the Paris Club and the rest of it. Why is it that the IMF is so difficult? The IMF don't want to play ball. They don't want to consider consider giving us the financial relief that the country needs. My question is, why do you think the IMF is still not convinced or something? Is it true that the IMF think the money is given to Ghana government goes to waste? That the money that goes to Ghana government always goes to waste, and so the IMF don't want to give us that support or that help? What do you think it is? Because from where I sit, I think our government, the Ghana government, is doing its best. all it can. But the best that the government is doing, is it enough? Or you think there's something secretly holding everything up? Hey, interesting. This gentleman, Kiza, he say, I'm watching all the way from Bahawalpur, Pakistan. Hey, well, if you are watching me all the way from Pakistan, whom am I to disagree? You are welcome. Thank you for your comment. Anyway, so what is it that is making the IMF not to help so far? What does, Ghana, or what will we have to do in order to make them, or to get them convinced that we are worthy of that $3 billion help? Just $3 billion. You see, but the whole thing is that when you go into details, you see that monies that have been wasted past 5 years or 6 years, monies that have been wasted, missing, and because we don't want people say you can't say stolen because you don't have any proof. The monies that we could have had or should be there and which isn't, no one is asking, where are those monies? Those monies are massive, bigger than what the IMF will give us. And why our president isn't that bothered? And when I have, why our president isn't that bothered? Why the president isn't asking questions as to how, where the money is, those ones that the Auditor General is even complaining about, has brought to the public domain to say that, look, this money was supposed to be this, it has been done that and that. Look, today I listened to one of these Al Jazeera news, and there is a problem in Scotland. The recently retired or resigned leader of the Scottish National Party, they call it sturgeon. Sturgeon is the name of a fish. Then previously they had one called salmon. Salmon is also a name of a fish. Why Scottish leaders always come with their names attached to fish and fishes? Maybe it's their style. Now though, the funny thing is, let me just say this. Can you imagine? The Scottish leader, the Scottish National Party, the leader now is a descendant from what we call Pakistan. Yeah, his parents were from Pakistan. Now, the British Prime Minister, his parents from India. So can you imagine, after all these years, after Britain partitioned India and they became India and Pakistan, can you imagine that now between the British Prime Minister and what do you call it, Scottish National Party, they may end up, through no fault of theirs, divide Britain. Look at that irony. A descendant of Pakistan and India, now they are governing Britain. So if and when the Scottish, at least politically or administratively, get detached from the mainland Britain and they become, exclusive Scotland, imagine the irony that the two people who will be responsible for that happening, one of them from India, the other from Pakistan. Anyway, that is something to just mull about or think about. But what I was saying is that the news is that Nicola Sturgeon, the former SNP, that Scottish National Party leader, who is now retired or resigned or stepped down, her husband has been arrested by police. Why? Apparently roughly about, let's say, £600,000 or $750,000 worth of monies that are supposed to be used to organize the party to run another Scottish independence bid. That money, apparently, not that they have arrested the man because he has actually squandered the money, or let's say any suspicion of having stolen the money or any corrupt. But the point is, they have seen that he has used the money to do other Scottish National Party activities, different from what has been specified previously, that this money is to fight our independence bid whenever we start. But apparently the man used the money to support other different things within the party. And for that, he has been arrested. So if you bring that to Ghana, that we have COVID money that should be used to do COVID things. Akufo-Addo and Ken Ofori-Atta also, they've used that part of the money to do something not related to COVID. And Ghana, everybody is, look, this one, it is just a report that came on, and the police have done that arrest. The police have investigated, known the truth that, not that the man has stolen any money, but then the money that he's supposed to use for something specific, he has used the money to do something different. And for that matter, he has been arrested. Not charged yet. Maybe within the next few hours, I think they say they have 11 hours to keep him or something. They will charge you with something, or maybe they will say, okay, we are still investigating, go home or something. In Ghana, Akufo-Addo and his cousin Ken Ofori-Atta and someone like Kojo Oppong-Nkrumah can get COVID money and share it among themselves. They will share the money. Nobody is asking any question. In a country where we have the Auditor General reporting that money, billions of cedis, that's supposed to be transferred from one bank to the main central bank, that money never got to the main central bank. Nobody is asking why or where the money is.
NFM Radio.
The way Enami Musa say, Omaino yebu anasi yebu. Yenkone yenkochi list with kakra.
I'm telling you, I'm looking into the camera and telling you, say you are the joke of the century. You are the joke of the century. And sit that. Say you be via or buy, say you see a trap by a VM. And see you are the joke. And this I mean, me case is via. Say, and then a coup for the side down. Or per crowd when we electoral commissioner. Or per offer the year and the deputy. Offer a Gabi as a Rotterdam. Edison, no for Professor Tibedia to you. Uncle Femi, Professor Tibedia to you. One funny person, our young one of Bush are falling a young for no form of electoral commission or Abna Kofi Young. Abena on so many now from Kugu. Abaya between MPP be near my way abo. Obi anyone who can have one, who MPP say, and now MPP. Of 5 years to Christo, Kofa Muhammad, concerning Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Ebet now say, yes, and a flag bearer, concerning Muhammad, and a running mate. Young Twaba in the name of MPP. Omuberi Poto for the first time in the history. Yes, name Muhammad Berry. Was Yandia, Yantiasu Grim. At a tea, no, how they have been a dear Kufado Diacomuno. May Katsano, he will be the best of the joke of this century. He should dare. And he bra, Yaniba Twabano. And to maybe this is for her or Paku for the name quiet electoral commissioner. Sabani ever to police station. I never got to electoral commission. Electoral police station. You and your dear Omupa Omuntin Ghana Fonsa. Near bedroom. Now they bedroom. And Oben say, we are seno. Says be Uto Mekwa, Uto Udokna, the digital. Nana, my main camera.
Well, no. I am not getting into all those things, but you know, it is failing. And you people should be asking them why they are failing. If you are given a chance to govern and you fail, don't expect to continue to govern. And that's not just for the New Patriotic Party, it's for every political party. We don't, democracy is not just about elections. You elect so that people can govern, so that they can improve the people's welfare. But if you've been an abject failure, where we have a situation where, quote unquote, the fundamentals have all gone wrong, why would you actually be wasting so much time talking about beyond or breaking the age? You have not achieved your task, and the failure to achieve your task is enough to jettison you from office.
You think the finance minister should?
Well, no. I am not getting into all those things, but it is failing, and you people should be asking them why they are failing.
Right. So we will continue be asking why they are failing. As for me, Mansa Musa, no one is telling me to ask, because I've been asking why Akufo-Addo has failed. But more bigger question is, why is the Ghana intellectual, people, the intelligentsia, as they say, the people with all the know-how, okay, Mate. See, the people with the know-how in the country, why have they sat down quietly? Why are they sitting down quietly for so many things to happen, and Akufo-Addo and the rest of them getting scot-free? Why? So much monies, nearly or over $100 billion have passed through the hands of Ken Ofori-Atta and Akufo-Addo. And now look at the state of Ghana. The monies that these people have had, Ghana shouldn't be like this. Ghana shouldn't be like this. I remember when Akufo-Addo started in 2017 or 2018, and they came up, 2017, they came up with this populist, propagandist sort of policies. They said they had removed nuisance taxes, right? They called those taxes nuisance taxes. I remember very well, before 2016 election, there is a gentleman who was in MPP stalwart here in the UK. Now, he's also been given a certain appointment in Ghana. I call him Peter from Romford. His full name is, I think, Peter Enchibu-Esiakun. You see, I think he's now the deputy director or something for the I've forgotten the sector he works now, but he's been given a political appointment now. I asked him that, look, in your manifesto you are cutting all these taxes, and yet promising so much giveaways. You pay a national allowance, you do this, you do this. I asked him, I remember very well those days, that how is the government, where is it going to get the revenue from to do all the promises or what they say they are going to do? Peter, I remember, ridiculed me. He made me small. He made me feel small, feel uneducated, that I don't know nothing. The people who have proposed to cut the taxes, they will do it and they know how to get the money. You see, Sani edititi ekrom ho. Those questions, no, Ghana will be to me Musa Akufo-Addo. No, my studio crowd, Obeko studio, a friendly studio, no kaka, in Semhunu, near Wasoreko. The same thing when it came to BBC and Stephen Suka, asked him that, look, you are promised this and that and free education. Where are you going to get the money from? This guy Akufo-Addo cleverly responded that, no, he has to go and answer that one to Ghanaians first. Tell Ghanaians first. Meanwhile, he knows that when he goes back to Ghana, nobody can ask him that question. And so they said they have removed nuisance taxes. Now we understand, we know why they removed those taxes. The reason Akufo-Addo and Kenny Ofori-Atta removed those taxes is that those tax revenues, Akufo-Addo, Kenny Ofori-Atta and their friends, their banks were not or wouldn't be able to benefit from the revenues from taxes. So when you remove them taxes, those taxes, when you cancel them, then rather go and borrow. When you borrow, you take your share, you take your charge, you take your middleman fee. So the more you borrow, the more you get the benefit, you get the returns personally. That is why they didn't care. They removed those so-called nuisance taxes, but they knew where they would get the monies from. And even after borrowing all these monies, and Ken Ofori-Atta getting his cut as a middleman, as a runner, or whatever, his bank making loads of monies. If they had used the borrowed monies to develop Ghana, Jesus Christ, we are talking about $120 billion, give and take, or give or take. $120 billion. Look at the state of Ghana now. Imagine we have overborrowed, but just like Mahama did the airport expansion, airport regeneration that everyone talks about today. Terminal 3. That airport I want to call Accra International Airport. If that, self-repaying project, that self-repaying investment, if Akufo-Addo had done about 2 or 3 more, that Tema expansion, the port expansion, these are huge investments. So Akufo-Addo borrowing big sums of money, if he has done 2 or 3 of that Tema port expansions, if not just lies, talking about Kita port here, they are all lies. They just talk for people to anticipate, look into the future, feeling good, feeling, oh, this one there, oh, it's nice. They needed to talk, use that to collect votes. But that heavy industrial investment, that Mahama, who was supposed to be incompetent, he and his group, Setekwe and Ricketts Hagan and the rest of them, that heavy investment, capital investment that pays for itself, the biggest one being the Tuabo gas. If Nanado, with all this borrowing, had done another 2 of Tuabo gases, build another big port like Tema, and build another big airport, let's say bigger airport, imagine, look at the hospital. The one Ghanaians know well is the Rich Hospital. I know Rich Hospital, how it looked like, because my firstborn was born there, Rich Hospital. It was a colonial, simple, cardboard, structures. Mahama's borrowing, and look at now the Rich Hospital. Now people talk about the hospital at Legon. These are serious, heavy industrial investments. This heavy, serious, self-repaying investment Akufo-Addo has not done. And yet, he's got more billions of dollars than any other government in Ghana's history. And why? I didn't see any so-called intellectuals, Ghana. Intellectuals, Papa. And now we are co-meaning intellectuals.
NFM Radio.
Let me go for political messages. We'll be back.
Oyezu Oyeza. Munya NDC nya ewo United Kingdom na Ireland chapter. Dama bri so michia na menyu ba bezian abato ho nkomo. Dem a wore nyim na oka kakra na yakoto aba yeze yanim penyufo a wo party do. wo dem chapter ya meji ho nkomo na menyu ba bezi chairman akwa no ho nkomo da mabri chairman akwa campaign for we gina there to wando abana wombe chairman nemu chairman akwa de ogina ho prekope nti mesraw de to waba na eza ma chairman akwa no wabe chairman bo United Kingdom and Ireland chapter usane de okitan hihye bebre a yame na dom na so be chairman a opede ozuboa awo a eye member wo United Kingdom na Ireland na NDC party ni na da na dom hihye no mu binyi the establishment of a welfare program. Dem welfare program yi no mu foso binyi abrubiara NDC ni ehwehwem bo wo sikasama fem bibi kakre bi a ezebototo nzama wa abra ahokyera aba no dem welfare program yi bohwe na wo saka bibi kakra ofi 50 pounds zuko 400 pounds na enyesika etume botua eyi ye chairman akwana adwena opede odzeboa NDC ibiso nyi de NDC member biara obenya any immigration issue ana mbrem nsemi biara wo bibia otena wo United Kingdom ana Ireland chairman akwa be establish mpenyumfo a wo betena ho na wahwe na advice biara oyembra konodo na wodi amaw impo se pelo yenyi bi na wo ejina na waka wasem bia ma wo United Kingdom ha ana Ireland da mpenyumfo yi wo mu binum ye lawyers a wo botum wo ejina ma ama no waji bibi kakra bi wa bra wo botum wo abo na wo bibiara so akodo welfare program kuriyara suya chairman akwa opede ozubobo azi onu so behwe na yenuanuma wo United Kingdom na Ireland nyinara awona wo ye into event organization photographers awona wo hihye bibia amanfo ye one parties one weddings nyina obaka wo nyinara abom dem obeya NDC member biara obenya any event there oye wedding outdooring bibiara no wetu wa bobo no wa ya ama no wa bra onkotue sika ti dema okakafo bi wo pado ana enchen bi na wa ba da mad na man chairman akona nimpemfu so bohwe na abribiara any welfare ana any social issue biara oba affect any member biara no obaba obo wechi na bibiara de wo mo ana bibiara de wo ye na wo bo program wa kodo no wetum wa yendam na ahomka waba welfare program yi bibia se nyamobo na se chairman akwa obeye chairman wo United Kingdom na Ireland no munsam kakra na meputu hu za achewi odobobaji na woda aboa awo member na woda aboa yen NDC MPyi na epebe nazi munua NDC nya ewo United Kingdom na Ireland to waba former chairman akwa nyamobo na se nsakaze biwo na ono so obegina na wahwede mama ka nyinara odebe yi dwuma na party na akwa n'enyim
Oh, you need papa, or get it on my doctor. meetings I would do now. I pay doctor, I raise the fund. Sikabotu pie move you. On the belt one. Executive members, any departmentals, and some are doctor and preachers or the belt one at close. So I will vote for him. Go and vote for him. Dr. John Ajimai on one of your pay. We gonna vote for Dr. Papa said. I am Dr. Joe Ajimai and go back to Amado. Dr. Joe and go back to Amigo. Ajimai, yeah, back to Amado. Dr. Joe and go back to Amado.
NFM Radio, Emudaho.
Let me go straight to the point. We will find wada. Once you attack and send be says so, your work is here. Come air conditioner, and also dumb air conditioning, no, and said that work is here, no crane say. One funny papa, madam, installation now, Mountia. With everything called enterprise, air conditioning installation at the Mawa, Odemo, a Rubia, okay, you, never cold room, it's a cold stores, and a Bavia, you didn't ever see, I was saying, you know, everything called enterprise. A nice one at your Mawa, a Rubia, no, but you medicadica. You install central air conditioning, split air conditioning, car air conditioning, never solar panels also. You want a nice Eddie Mawa, or you be a boost straight now for your body will fee. So, what do you say? And our gas in a sense, so you'll come with the anal-fear dear, and our co-store dear. Then you know, a very nice and quick, but we will be a yet the amount. Also, more bridge, Bobby sit down, I will make anyone over to me after you can lie with so. Nearby install air conditioning, Nibiamamu. Try +44 7508 650279. Oh, wager, adjacent Ghana Fire Service. Wow, France 0544 489 343 and 0302 906 276. Your website, you know, everythingcode.org. And I send you an email, kjamwako@yahoo.co.uk. Everything called enterprise, air conditioning, a master, no.
Say dear, yenam top connect so emanisika de bagana if we yasia fanani na yenchia kapre. Ane, aye free. Top connect amasika mani ayem rekra. Ye wuhia ne se wo download it with Top Connect app no e Play Store. Diama wo Android phone. And as we use iPhone so or Apple Store na download the Top Connect. Aye simple kra. Top Connect wa mamba radio num so wo Europe, North America and Asia. Wo mane wo dofu sika fa Top Connect so aye ntem na emre na mawa hoto swonso sese die sika manye di foforo kra any Top Connect so we yan chechemu bia fra Top Connect e wo +442 081 6155 and a +442 081 761 600 +447 882 950 088 and nasa hwehwe Top Connect e wa befonti ntafidie nyina so Top Connect Fesika mani wa dofwa sunjemu a unchia kapre. Top Connect yensu ye dienye.
Right, welcome back to the show. This is Fire Benny is coming to you from the portals, the airways of NFM Radio. Or say NFM, no, just say emudao. Wow, advert, and I say, jingle, and I say, commercial unit, and our business is be open, say, advertising, no, Fabre, nebe bo amobiate, nebe bo amobiaje so. If you have anything to advertise, just don't go anywhere. Come to NFM Radio. Our price is very competitive. Our prices, we want everyone to come, so we are making it cheaper for everybody, if you know what I mean. Okay. All right, thank you. So, yeah, bring your adverts and everything. And even if not adverts and you are Osofo, or a reverend, pastor, anything, and you want to come and do your prayers or church service, or just sit down quietly to read the Bible to listeners, why not? Come and we will ebejo awa a two. Okay, so it's now 22:08. I want to speak to someone in Accra, so I will just hang on a little bit here. I won't close now. So if you just arrive and you want to come and join in a conversation, then the numbers you know already. If you don't know, it's 0208 123 5911 or 07876 251 261, and I will let you speak. We are talking about, I'm asking the question that upon all what the Kufuor has done, all the taxes and everything, more taxes and more taxes, the IMF is not ready to give in. The IMF is not helping. So what is it that maybe we are not being told? Is the situation so bad that after all what the Kufuor has done, all the squeezing of hands, taking people's money, savings, now even we have electronic, what we call electronic savings tax, which is an e-levy. That e-levy that we were told that it was going to solve almost every problem. Mokaya, I don't know if I can find it. One of them said something somewhere, some time ago, not quite long ago, that the e-levy will make the government create 11 or over 11 million jobs. So some way would na say we will and say which is which? Should we be angry or annoyed or what? Because they were told that the e-levy will bring so many things, including jobs. Oforiata said it. He said e-levy proceeds will create jobs for over 11 million people. It's you. Oforiata said this 1 year ago, that the e-levy will create jobs for over 11 million people. Now we are here. I don't know if what they got created job for even 100,000 people. If the e-levy has been able to create even 50,000 jobs. But Ken Oforiata told Ghanaians, that people who were resisting that e-levy legislature or e-levy proposal in parliament, he said those people were bad. You see what I mean? He said those people were bad, and that those people didn't want the progress of the country. So just after 1 year, Ken Oforiata can't say the same way. Or see, e-levy proceeds will create jobs for over 11 million people. I don't know who tells them, who advises them to speak like this. These people are not fools, so rather they think we are fools. I think they don't think we are fools. They know we are fools. Otherwise, why will anyone say such a thing? That you bring a tax that people didn't want. Many people, most Ghanaians, over 80% of Ghanaians were against it. And you were still convincing, trying to tell the same people that the proceeds, the money you get from e-levy will create 11 million jobs. We enya bodamo abeka so bia ye obi juju. Say nyam botamwa. Ubeka say eye juju. Let me see if I can get this gentleman I was trying to contact in Accra to see if we can have some 15 minutes chat. I am ringing. Let's see if we can get him. If we can, it will be nice. If we cannot, we'll wait for another time, because I know these people in Accra, Ghana, they are always very, very, very busy. They are very busy. They are not like we in Europe. We in Europe, we don't have too much to do. In Ghana, they are very busy. That one, I will give it to them. I have to concede. Ghana funny a busy scene. From most of the time, some who are ejuma papa be here, special weekends. Some who are year papa be caught. So now it did that chrome how UK America here. Oh dear. So you are very much invited to join in the conversation. The other issue I spoke about yesterday and I want us to continue is the fact that Mr. Ewusi, your friend Ewusi, a friend say, it's not Ewusi, it is Sami Ewuku. Sami Ewuku says that the national security, they will go undercover, underground, to find illegal lottery operators and arrest them. And I think that is very good. My only question is that why has the national security people not go underground or go undercover to arrest corrupt officials, corrupt government people, corrupt civil servants? Is that not a priority? Omu go abainu mu a omu bogana formuno. The secret agents, your friends say, the secret service, the security agencies are not going undercover to find them all. But obia oya banker to banker loto no there. Oh, the security service are going to go underground to look for them. You see? But as they say horses for courses. They think that is the priority. Ghana for free say, omo ye banker to banker, omo twa loto illegally no. Omo na yesi echi omo. But a ban penny for politicians are omo wie yesika. Be to try down obruchri. ABCC mansions for Ghana wa ubusa omo how they made their money they can never explain. Sankrofoni nyina na nam ho. The security agents are not going to go undercover to get them arrested. You see where lies our priority as a nation? Someone Matthias here. You see now. Oh yeah, the whole right there. Also Mansa Musa and all the emoji obi soon just say oba just say me soon ewu. Just say me you mate. Okay. So that is what it is. I will leave it. I will leave it here, and hopefully tomorrow we'll get who we want to speak to. In fact, today, now I wanted to speak to Mr. Seth Tekpe as well. And he was riding a train somewhere. He said, I'm on the quiet train. And when he say quiet train, I don't suppose it is in Ghana. He said he was traveling on a quiet train. So he cannot talk. That's what it is. So we will leave it. We'll come and continue again tomorrow. As they say, tomorrow too is another day.
Venue, NFM Radio. Jumedia Mansa Musa Ede Bro. Ejuada kopem memneda. Enumre non song. Ekopem non do. Listen to Fire will burn you on NFM Radio with Mansa Musa Monday to Saturday, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. NFM Radio. Emu daho. NFM Radio, Emu daho. NFM Radio, Emu daho. Listen to Fire will burn you on NFM Radio with Mansa Musa Monday to Saturday, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Serenity.